Welcome to another awesome video.
Today we're talking about a band you might have heard of. They're England's #1 vocal group. It's
The Beatles.
Yes, this is introducing the Beatles, a record I have.
This might be a lot of money.
Well, I don't know. Well, from a song perspective, these aren't my favorite Beatles songs. You know, I like some of their later stuff. This is kind of the early period, you know, with the screaming teenage girls and kind of like less substantive lyrics. But it's still the Beatles. They're still good. I like it. I just kind of prefer the later stuff. As an artifact, this is a very interesting record. And this album has an interesting history. As it turns out, this could be a pretty rare Beatles album or not. If you just Google it, you get some pretty outrageous prices.
Yikes! I could buy a sinkable Titanic model, which are like $1,000.
Well, not so fast. There's many different versions of this album, including a bunch of counterfeits. So how did a situation like this even arise? In the music business, you've got a creative side and a business side. And look who published this record. It's from Vee Jay Records. All their other later albums are from Capitol Records.
Oh, when they started, they didn't even know how to read music there. They went off some record companies in Britain, and nobody knew them around the world, and they were just some small teenagers back, like in the 60s or something.
Anyway, it was kind of a legal battle between Vee Jay Records and Capitol Records over who would control the Beatles in the United States. Vee Jay Records had some material in the vault they were trying to capitalize on. According to Wikipedia, they were just throwing this album out the door as fast as they could in between all these legal battles and restraining orders. As a result, they unintentionally sort of created this weird, rare album where there's some very different versions of it, and even later, some counterfeit versions. So it's potential that it could be a rare item depending on which version you have. As you can see, the back of this is just a very basic printed list of songs. As the Beatles got more popular, look, they got more elaborate albums. That one has a bunch of different photos, different fonts, and some pictures on the back. And
this later one?
Yeah, and eventually they got to albums with full color, seeing things that folded open like the Help soundtrack. Magical Mystery Tour had a 24-page full color booklet with cartoons and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I guess it was some sort of like... I don't know. I haven't seen it was a TV special and a cartoon and all that stuff with there. You can read that later. But let's get back to introducing the Beatles album. One thing I wanted to do is take my album and compare against the list of known counterfeit indicators and see, is it real? Do I have some eBay gold?
Gold. eBay gold. Idiot.
Yeah.
Well, not only do I know the provenance, who and where this was purchased, but it also passes all these standard indicators of not being a counterfeit. The band's name is in the right place. The color bands look good. There's all indications this is real. Unfortunately, it's not the super rare version. There you can see George's shadow on the right. One thing about this album is the songs on the back are not the songs of the album. P.S. I Love You and Love Me Do were both replaced due to those legal battles with Please Please Me and Ask Me Why. So what I think I've got here is a version 2 mono LP which was pressed during the time when they were forced to remove those two songs, but before they had a chance to remove them from the track listing. And based on researching some recently sold eBay auctions and an old 1998 website, I think realistically, this is probably, maybe worth $100 to $200. So I think I'll probably hang on to it for now. But anyway, that's about it. If you see one of these albums out in the world somewhere and it's affordable, you might want to grab it because you don't know what you're going to get.
See you next time for another awesome video.
Bye-bye.